Heavy metal comes in many styles, and we want to hook you up. In this episode of Extreme Metal, we are going to be looking at technical death metal, symphonic death metal, death thrash metal bands, and much more. You name it, there's room. We think these 5 extreme metal bands are absolutely worth taking your time to check out for their complexity in sound and for their aggressive behavior. After all, heavy metal in general has been seen to be good for your health according to science. So if this is your type of thing, make sure to stick around as we get started on our extreme metal list. Our first spot belongs to Rings of Saturn. If you are a traditional heavy metal listener, they might shock you, but for death metal, they combine the best of both worlds. They go from screeches to heavy low growls, which is highly appreciated. This band formed by studio metal musicians, and they have been through 17 ex-members in total so far. Their instrumentation is fast and aimed at the more shreddy style of metal. We recommend the Alta Ula album as it has a contrast of very interesting jazzy salsa interludes and also some Aliencore stuff. Check out Inadequate, The Macrocosm, and Parallel Shift from this album. Moving on, we have Orbit Culture from Sweden. This band draws influences from metalcore, but make no mistake because they get very extreme. They are a bit of an underrated band, and we strongly recommend listening to their catalog as this band's sounds can be so diverse. Sailor's Tale, off of the Shaman EP, might give the impression that they are kind of a death or power metal band, but they are so much more than this. And the band shows their diversity in sound, which shines brightly in See Through Me. We strongly recommend checking this band's first EP as it is just simply amazing, and also check out the live version for North Star of Nija as it is just crushing. Next up is Septic Flesh from Greece. They are regarded as death doom and symphonic death metal, and they are a very heavy and extreme band. The band takes influence from goth lore and mythological creatures. This band broke up in 2003 but later came back in 2007 with the release of Communion. For this album, they hired an orchestra comprised of 80 musicians, and this album is just an absolute masterpiece. It is a total must listen. The concept of the album is the idea of communicating with non-human entities, and the arrangements were done and led by Chris Antoniou. It's always nice listening to this band live as they show very top-notch quality musicianship while performing. And just like Orbit Culture, we have another obscured yet insane band, Sylosis. With 6 studio albums already, this band is aggressive, but comes with a few metal policies, and strangely, this is why they're so unique. This band might be more enjoyed by traditional heavy metal listeners, as some of their policies include no drop tuning and no breakdowns. In a world where it seems like everyone is trying to get the same guitar tone, here comes Sylosis with a blend of traditional thrash combined with death metal. To get a taste for this kind of no drop tuning and no breakdowns policy, we recommend checking out their songs Terrace, Servitude, Mercy, and Imperial from this extremely powerful band. Last band on our list is the almighty Gojira, a French quartet gaining notoriety back in the early 2000s for having a DIY mentality. Gojira's sound began as technical death metal with the release of Terra Incognita. In 1998, they were doing something extremely good and aiming at something very different. It was almost a sort of metal art. As they became more ambitious with their music, they began growing out of the death metal landscape, and we can listen to this in Art of Dying from their album The Way of All Flesh. This is a 10-minute journey that explores ideas not typically associated with death metal. Gojira is a very strong band in the metal context nowadays, and we strongly recommend them to anyone. So that is it for today's video. We know death metal isn't just about 5 or 6 bands, so let us know in the comments below about your favorite death metal bands. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and please don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with more metal content. Thank you for watching.